Welcome. Welcome to 5 Question Friday, Setan Pet Talk. Happy Friday. I'm Sarah of Expat in Croatia, and every Friday at 5 o'clock Croatia time, I answer 5 questions from people who have sent them in about Croatia. And this is Michael Freer.
Hi, I'm Michael. Yeah, what do you want me to... do you want me to say something? I'm Michael. I've lived here for 7 years. I live in Kastala, just outside of Split. And I've known Sarah pretty much the whole time, I guess. Definitely known of you. And then I got to know you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what our origin story is.
I think I know the origin story.
Do you?
I think it's to do with website design, maybe.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe it's like 6 years, 5.5, 6 years. Game of Thronesy stuff. Yeah.
What would that have had to... What was the Game of Thrones link?
No, I think because you developed a website with Game of Thrones.
Oh, I had a Game of Thrones business.
The tours?
Yeah.
But no website for that.
Well, yes, I built the website.
And then with Croatia, I think we were like, we know someone who's done this for something similar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember now?
That wasn't that long ago, it feels like.
No, that's ages ago.
Was it?
Well, it's definitely pre-COVID, so that's 4 years. And I think we started in 2017 or 2016. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I choose to believe you.
We must have. I think we also brushed shoulders before then.
I think so too.
Maybe Toto.
Probably.
Probably many times before then. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, I feel like we've known each other for like 100 years.
Yeah, that's life and Split for you.
Yeah, that is life and Split for sure. Anyway, sorry, we're just having our own conversation. Thank you so much for joining us on 5 Question Friday. So today is a special edition because Michael's here. Michael has joined us here on PPP, which stands for...
Well, it depends how you do the pedage. Pedage. It could be pet pitanje petak, or it could be petak petok pitanje. I don't know if that's even right. I don't know how to whatever it is, the pet... Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. So I am a big fan of alliteration, and Michael drew my attention to the fact that 5 Question Friday in Croatian is PPP.
Either way, yeah.
Either way that you do it.
So is it the Friday of 5 questions, or can you do 5 questions? I think it has to be the Friday of 5 questions.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
So we need a bit of help with the pardeji. Here we go. Here we go.
That's Lucia.
Pet pitanja petkom. Okay. What about the other way round? Like the Friday of petok pitanja, the petich, I don't even know.
You're breaking my brain,
my adjectival pardeji conjugation is terrible.
We're preaching to the choir.
Too much for Friday.
Yeah, I know. We have not had any rakia. And, I got the rakia out because Michael made me some loza last year. But he's having a dry March.
Yeah.
So I'm not having any rakia in solidarity.
You could have still had... Oh,
No.
No loza.
No loza. I'm just going to look at it longingly over there on my desk.
We did sniff it.
Yeah, we did sniff it. That's the extent of what we did. So, anyways, why we're here today. So usually I answer questions that people send in on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, expatcroatia.com, email, my consulting sessions, and, I don't know, people who write them on my window. But this week we've got Michael, and we are going to talk specifically about social enterprise. So Michael is the social enterprise guru. We're going to find out exactly what that means and have some conversations about it. So as far as where we start, what is social enterprise? Because I know you've explained it to me a bunch of times, and I just feel like I have a really hard time wrapping my mind around it. I think a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their mind around what it is and what it isn't. So can you simply, for the people out there at home, explain what it is?
Yeah. No, I would. Yeah, just because this conversation came up, didn't it, with Women's Month?
Yes, it did.
And there was a section or a vote, I guess, for the best female social entrepreneur.
It was, so for Women's Month, I probably should have said that up at the start, guys, that we are now officially in Women's Month. Yay. And so we've announced our 4 winners on Instagram a few days ago. We also have them on the website. And for this year, we had 4 categories. And one of those categories was social enterprise. So There were people or businesses that were nominated for social enterprise, and then of those, one business was selected by our panelists, of which Michael was a panelist, so he was the perfect person to select a winner in the social enterprise category.
Okay, so back to social enterprise. So social enterprise also has 3 Ps, which is people, planet, profit, right? So social enterprise is a company, it makes money, that's why you have the profit. It looks after its stakeholders, not just its shareholders. I'm almost throwing at people now. So, most companies think mostly about their shareholders. A social enterprise thinks about all of their stakeholders. So the people buying the product, for sure, the people making the product, and then the local community. Yeah, so maybe they're actually having those discussions with the local community. Do you want us to expand our factory here or not? What impact will that have on you? And we want to have a positive impact. And the last one is planet. So everything that social enterprise produces, they want to think about the planet, making sure that it doesn't have a negative impact, and actually so it has a positive impact on the planet. So they're the core kind of parts. The difference with profit as well is it doesn't go to a few people's pockets. It goes to either back into some social or environmental good. So in Croatia, the guideline is that 75% of your end of year profit goes into your social or environmental cause.
75%?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it varies depending on which country you're from, whether there's a legal structure for it or whether it's just a guideline. Yeah. So that 75% gets spent on in the next year. I don't know, for example, you've been doing, it's Women's Month now, right? So if you were then to set up specific, and this links back into the winner of Social Enterprise Women's Award, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know the official name. So, do they know who's won everything?
Yes,
okay, good.
Bizkoshnica, which is, we are going to talk about that. I want you to share with them why they are, because I think that when people look at the name Bizkoshnica co-working, they're like, it's a co-working space. What makes them a social enterprise? What makes them a social enterprise? ?
Yeah. Okay. So those 3 tenets are key for creating a social enterprise, and then it's how you act. So with Bizkoshnica, the reason, so they're in the process of, say, becoming a real social enterprise, let's say it that way, because a lot of people start up as a non-profit and then grow into a social enterprise, and sometimes people start as a company and grow into a social enterprise. Now with Mirella from Bizkoshnica, I know she wants to work a lot with women and invest a lot of that profit or whatever into women. At the same time, her name is Bizkoshnica, which is about bees.
Yes.
So it's how do we also think about maybe involving something there with beekeeping nature into what they do. So they have the people side, which is the women. They have the the planet side, which is bees. And actually, at the end of profit, it isn't all going into Mirella's pockets because she's constantly investing in new programs for women. And obviously, you can read her website for more about that. But it's a working process.
Yes, yeah? Absolutely.
And the last thing about profit as well, I talked about the kind of profit share. So with some countries, it's locked. So you can't actually take that money out as dividends yourself. It has to go there. And the final thing with money is over 50% of your money that you make has to come from selling something on the market, either a product or a good. Therefore, if you are an organisation that's bringing in only EU funds, and that's 70% of your income, you're not a social enterprise. There's no enterprise there. You're just applying for grants and getting grants and spending them on projects.
So the enterprise bit is that you're actually making money.
Yeah, off the market. Yeah, so normally that's 50-50. Normally it's 50-50, yeah. So a lot of charities that say they're a social enterprise aren't, because most of their money comes from funds or donations. Likewise, lots of companies are like, oh, we're very social. Bullshit. You're like destroying the environment, so yeah.
Okay, I think I finally understand it now. Do you guys understand it now? I think that definitely explains it for me. So in terms of what you do, can you share a little bit about your company and what you're doing with nonprofits as well as companies in Croatia in particular?
Okay. Okay, so through my company, so I run a company called Ensoko, which is a consultancy company, And through that, and sometimes next to that, because maybe you don't know, a lot of in Croatia, a lot of kind of contracts that come up are sometimes linked to being employed by that non-profit, that company, and they prefer to employ you rather than invoice you. So just to clarify that, so sometimes I'm contracted, sometimes I can invoice, and most of them is about developing business ideas, and those business ideas are quite often for non-profits. For example, at the moment, Croatia is coming back this year in Castella, yeah, as well as a guided walking tour with olive oil and wine tasting in Castella. And so the point of those two things is that it's going to be run by two charities or non-profits. One is supporting all the olive growers in Castella, and the other one is supporting culture and heritage in Castella. They'll run those two projects or businesses ultimately, and the profits will then go back into those non-profits and eventually social enterprise, and they can spend that money on what they want. They don't need to report to anyone, they don't need to write a project. They'll make that profit, and then they can be like, cool, we want to run a program for young olive growers to make sure that they keep up the tradition of olive growing in Castella. Or, okay, we have four statues in Castella we want to preserve, and now we have money to go and do it. We don't have to actually apply from the Ministry of Culture. Yeah,
I mean, we're applying for our first funding right now, yes, and we've been waiting for the tender for about 6 months. Okay. It's late.
Yeah, standard.
It's late. And I had a chat with the agency that's helping us with that this past week, and we were looking at this new tender from the Ministry of Culture, and he's like, you could go after this, but the volume of work that has to go into this, the volume of reporting, the different things that you have to do, it's like you have this other option, and yes, it's 6 months late, but it's a much easier win.
Yeah.
And the deeper I get into finding out what goes into getting these tenders, it's just like, how does anyone ever get it? How does anyone know what it is that they're doing or how to accomplish this without a professional?
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. So the fact that, there are these kinds of structures where they can, make money, but they're using that to fund these community projects as opposed to going after this funding, which, I mean, even if you do apply, it takes years for these kinds of things to happen, depending on the kind of type of tender it is, what the project is. So that works a lot better.
Yeah, that's it. That's the main thing I do, and I work with, as you mentioned, Croatian companies or Croatian non-profits doing that. Udruga, they're called here. I do it with UK charities, and I had projects in other parts of the world as well. So that's that part. At the same time, developing my own social enterprises, right? Yeah. So I run one udruga, which is called Jedna Mladost, One Youth. So that's a youth club that focuses on STEM leadership and entrepreneurship. And the goal there as well is that for us at the moment, we get money through membership, and we've got some EU funding coming in. So we're a charity at the moment. But the goal is to have products that we sell, and then that will eventually go towards maybe running trips, extra training. I don't know, whatever the members want, whatever those young people want to do with that money. They can decide. And then finally my social startup, which is Donate QR. Again, at the moment, we're not selling anything, we're still developing. But the goal with that, which is about making donations a daily occurrence, would be once that's up and running, we're making money. Okay, what's our social impact going to be? Are we going to be like a grant-making foundation all of a sudden? Because we'll be earning, hopefully, loads of profit because we'll be global and amazing.
Yeah.
And where will that go, and how will we decide on that?
So of all the companies that you've worked with in Croatia, but even companies you haven't worked with, like which project do you feel like was your favorite kind of offering?
Well, I'm going to talk about one organisation that I've never worked with. I've never supported them, I've never been a mentor for them, but we've worked together on promoting social enterprise. And that's a company called, social enterprise called Hedona. They're in Križevci, which is great because I met the mayor of Križevci today. And I found out they have 2 social enterprises now there, which is great for 20,000 city, right?
Yeah, where is that village?
Križevci is like 60 kilometers east, I guess, of Zagreb. Is that right? Yeah. And they are also the home of the first crowdfunded solar producing energy whatever you want to call it, for this
Farm?
farm, yeah.
Yeah.
All funded by local, well, not all funded, but funded by local citizens who then get a return on investing in crowdfunding this thing.
Ooh.
So they're pretty cool up there. And this one, Hedona, makes chocolate. Yeah. And not just any chocolate, but really high quality chocolate. Okay, it's not local, there's not...
It's not a tropical country here. Yeah.
But there's two sides to them. There's the company and there's actually the non-profit.
Mm-hmm.
And the non-profit runs different services for people with disabilities. The chocolate making factory employs some people with disabilities. And then the profits from that can go back into funding further projects for people with disabilities, whether that's education, training, daycare, whatever it is. And I like them because they have a global mindset. So, for example, before, I don't know if they still are, they would sell their chocolate to like Qatar Airways.
Oh.
So there's a small social enterprise in Krizhevci selling chocolate to Qatar Airways.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So if anyone, I'm just going to do a picture of them. If any of you are a company out there, they do like brand white label. No, is it called white label? Is that the right word? I can't speak English. Yeah.
Yeah, I think white label.
Where you put your own stuff on it.
Yeah.
They do white label chocolates. So somebody said New York City. Yes, New York City can buy from Hedona and have New York City on that chocolate bar, if that's what they're asking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if they were, but anyway.
They might be saying they're from New York.
Okay.
Too. Either way, great.
Hedona.hr.
Wonderful. So what if someone wants to volunteer in Croatia and they don't know where to start? What would you recommend?
Okay, cool. So this is more now think about non-profits, right?
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about non-profits, now most big cities have a volunteer centre.
Yeah.
So in Split, it's run by Udruga Me.
Really?
Yeah. In Dubrovnik, it's run by Udruga Bonsai. They're the two that I know because I worked with them before. And so they've got Facebook pages and stuff, number one. There's now a new tool out called Volonterka, which is where they're encouraging non-profits to put all their volunteer opportunities. And then we all know the best way to find out how to volunteer, which is...
Go to expatcroatia.com?
Well, okay, yes. No. But and also word of mouth, right? Like reaching out. There's some different organisations in different places that will publish all of this stuff that's going on in terms of volunteer actions. So it's just really keeping your eyes open and talking to the right people.
Absolutely.
Starting with those volunteer centres.
Yes, and I would also say that on expatcroatia.com we have a guide to organizations to volunteer in Split, as well as Rijeka and Zagreb. So if you would like links to any of those guides, send us a DM and we would be more than happy to send that over to you. And also, if you want to get residence based on volunteering, that is also an option, and we have a guide on that too. So.
And if you want to add Dubrovnik to that, I'm sure I can connect you with...
Could you really?
Yeah. I literally spoke to her yesterday and today.
That would be
Because I wrote
great.
about measuring impact in volunteering.
Excellent. Yeah, I want us to do guides for Zadar, Pula, and...
I also know the
as
Zadar
well.
Volunteer Centre. I forgot about that.
Yes. Excellent.
Cool.
Because it can be... I don't know, maybe this is just the rumors I've heard, but, finding udruga that are proper udruga and not just, money launderers is...
Well, they're normally a bit bigger.
Yeah.
The ones that are, say, proper, so to speak. I don't know, money laundering has so many definitions here,
Yeah,
right?
it does.
Like, sometimes money laundering is your business fails and you open a new business to avoid whatever.
Yes.
And that's money laundering. Sometimes people think opening up an udruga to get funds is also money laundering.
Yeah.
And some people think if people can't run a business, they open an udruga to kind of run a business, and that's also money laundering. And then you have money laundering. So
yes, proper money laundering. Yeah, like lobster money laundering.
So I think speaking to people, seeing what they do, visiting a few times, volunteering isn't the biggest thing in Croatia. It's something that we need to kind of develop a bit more. But now there are more and more programs to encourage that. Non-profits getting more and more training on that. So it's getting better.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Michael. I feel like I have a pretty good handle on social enterprise. So let's talk about something else.
Okay, cool. Well, does anyone have any questions?
Oh, yeah, we should ask that. Does anyone have any questions? All right. We'll see if they pop up. But I just want to reiterate that we entered Women's Month on March 1st. Michael was so kind enough to be a panelist of ours. So we have 4 winners, and our social enterprise winner, Biz Koshnitsa Co-working. I was working on that interview today. I spoke with Mirella a few weeks ago, so I'm really excited to share that. But the first one that's coming up is on Monday. That's with Petra of Ladies Latin Zagreb. That was our winner in innovation.
Cool. Yeah. No, I like that one as well because it was, there's a lot of, and I've seen this here in Splits, and you're a woman, so you can tell me if I'm saying this wrong, but...
Am I?
You are? I don't know, sorry.
According to the proper definition. I don't know. It depends on the day.
Okay. But no, there's when we were looking through the different people that have been nominated, and I saw how that had kind of tweaked what normally goes on in dance classes, right? And also based on past experience, I guess, and her own lived experience, making sure that there are these safe spaces where women can go to and dance and all of that stuff. So I like that idea.
I love that idea. Yeah. I thought honestly, I only found out about her through her becoming a winner and being nominated and becoming the winner. And it was really fascinating to learn about her story, and that you can go and learn this type of dance that is traditionally done in a couple, but she does them as solo things. Yeah. And I thought that was great. I really love to go to one of her classes. She says that she's planning to do some classes in Split sometime soon. So we'll see.
Nice.
I will most definitely scream about that from the mountaintops whenever that happens.
Can I do because we're talking about Women's Month?
Yeah.
Next week, if you're in Split, there are 2 meetups for women.
Yes, there are.
Yeah. One is International Women's Day is on Wednesday, isn't it? So on Tuesday, Split Tech City are running their Women in Tech monthly meetup. So check that out. You can follow Split Tech City on Instagram. And then on Wednesday I think it's Women in Business meetup in Split. And that's run by RAST, which is the regional, the development agency for Split.
Uh-huh.
So next week, 2 meetups for women in tech, women in entrepreneurship. So if you're in Split or somewhere near Split and want to come, then visit either. Actually, I think it's all on Split Tech City anyway. They're pretty good at sharing that stuff. Yeah,
and actually the Split Library is doing something too on Wednesday. Yeah.
Nice. What are they doing?
They're doing at least one panel or a few panels. I was really disappointed I couldn't be there. I got invitations for both, for the Split Library one and also Split Tech City, but I am in Zagreb next week.
What?
Yes. Huh?
Why?
Why am I in Zagreb? Because they'll find out later. I'm gonna post a video on Monday to explain why I'm going to Zagreb.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that right now.
Okay. Cool.
But I go to Zagreb on Sunday. I will be there for a week, and there is also a conference. I will say that I am doing a panel in a conference for Women's Day on Wednesday, and so I'll definitely be sharing everything about that. Danielle will be there as well, our social media manager, and so will Maria, our content manager. So we're going to have a little mini Expat in Croatia party in Zagreb, so that should be super fun. So you live in Kaštela, and I feel like tons of foreigners are moving to Kaštela these days.
There's apparently, in the Facebook group, because there is now a Kaštela Facebook group.
No way! Yeah. Wait, for foreigners or...?
For foreigners. I think it's mostly foreigners. I don't know, I don't really check the names, but I think there are like 77 people there.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I know, and we have 7, so that's 11 per Kaštela, if we do it that way.
I feel like you guys are really taking over. Like
77 people.
No, I just mean I've just learned about because Split is it's becoming too expensive.
Okay.
And especially families, they can't find anything at any kind of reasonable price or any kind of reasonable space for families, and just so many people are moving out there. There's this one cluster of folks that I know, and they're a group of friends, and they all bought within a 1 block radius of each other.
Okay.
Yeah, I think out in Novi or the one next to Novi.
So the last one, the airport one, is Štapelić.
Yeah.
And then you have Novi, and then you have Stari.
Yeah.
Coming towards Split, and then you have Lovšić.
Mm-hmm. Then?
And then you have Kambelovac.
Uh-huh.
And then Gomelica, and then Sucevac. Which one? Oh, I know the Castelas.
I know you know the Castelas. You asked me once and put me on the spot in front of people asking me like I was going to know.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a Splitchanka. I can list all the neighborhoods in Split, but I cannot list the Castelas. Okay. Yeah.
Yet. Well, you should know where your friends live at least. Novi. Just say Novi.
Novi.
Yeah. It's a cool one.
I'll do my best. I'll try not to be so Split-centered.
It's normal.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we got. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk to you about, but now I can't remember what it was.
Well, you wanted to say this was the 90th?
Oh, this is the 90th episode.
710?
What?
Something about a 10th
what?
10th person.
Oh, that!
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, two things. So, one, this is the 90th episode. And that means, oh, hi, Victoria, Canada. This is the 90th episode. And that means that we are 10 episodes away from the 100th episode. That's going to happen in May.
Which will mean that you've answered 500 questions.
Yes.
Amazing.
Well, it's more than 500 questions, for sure, because there are some episodes where I did more, and also people ask questions, during the thing, so it's definitely more than 500, but yes, at least 500.
That's pretty awesome.
I never really thought about it that way. That's pretty bonkers.
Yeah.
So,
is the 100th version going to be live somewhere? Is it going to be a big event?
It is going to be an event of some kind, and I have...
Will there be a cake with 100 candles? Or 100 cakes, because you love baking.
I don't want to add anything to my to-do list.
Okay, you can outsource that.
No, we do want to do something special. I've talked to Danielle about a concept that I have.
Yeah.
So that's something that we will announce probably in April, would be my guess, because I'll give you a hint. It involves some audience participation.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So I think that'll be pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm really jazzed about that. Now the other thing that I forgot to mention that Michael did his very best to remind me about is that we now have our 10th team member at Expat in Croatia. She accepted our offer this morning, so we're really super jazzed to introduce you to her. It will take a bit of time. She's starting on March 20th. Honestly, our team doesn't even know yet. I'm telling them on our staff meeting on Monday who it was.
They might know now.
Well, I haven't said who it is.
Oh, okay. You mean the name? Okay.
Yeah, the name. And it was. I gotta say, both women are extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. I wanted to hire both of them. I really did. So I'm hoping that the other person will be able to come on in another capacity in the future, once we have another role open up, because they were both just so magnificent. It was really hard. Like, I was on the phone with Terry yesterday and I was like, I don't know what to do. Help me make this decision. It was pretty challenging. And even the staff, we always have our candidates interview with the staff, and for a variety of reasons we do that. And everyone was like, I don't envy you having to make this choice, Sarah, because they're both excellent. So we feel very lucky in that regard. That we've been able to find such wonderful people to be on our team. So I can't wait for this person to come on. She's a junior consultant, or will be a junior consultant, which means she will take over the bulk of the consulting duties. Okay. So I can do puppet mastery things up here and build projects and do some really cool stuff with Expat Croatia I've been wanting to do for a really long time, but haven't had the time to do it. Mm-hmm. And so that'll be coming. That means we get to do new things. And I can't say what it is. I want to say what it is so badly, but I can't. But I just want to say that I hinted maybe on a previous 5 questions in the last few weeks that we're going to have a new brand coming. that's going to have some swag, like some stuff that people can actually buy. And I got letters about it this past week. I can't say what. It's something related to the brand, and it's just one of those milestones that we have to get past before we can do it. And I was on a coffee at the office this past week, and Lucia came in with the mail with these 3 blue envelopes. They're always important information always comes in blue envelopes in Croatia.
Or speeding tickets.
Yes, but everything important comes in a blue envelope, which I love, because you know something's coming, although it can be scary too.
Yeah,
like,
it's normally scary.
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. But that information came, and it was like, I screamed in the cafe bar. I was so excited. So I can't wait for the moment when I can actually share that with all of you. Oh my goodness. Hi, Catherine. That's my Aunt Catherine right there.
Aww.
Hi. I'm so glad you're here. This is my friend Michael.
Hi, Catherine.
Okay, I think that's it. Thanks so much, Michael, for being here.
No,
I
always
really
a pleasure,
appreciate
always fun. Sorry I couldn't drink. Next time we will do our 5 rakias on 5 Question Friday.
Yeah, we will have to do that.
Yeah, it just happened that this was the month I had to not drink rather than next month because I'm having family come. So
Shame. I even had this special one over here that I was hiding that I got in Istria. It was a gift from a baba. It's a ruja.
Oh?
Do you want to smell it?
Yeah.
I mean, we smell the loza, so we can...
Ruja, interesting.
Yeah. It is a bit sweet, so it's something you have a small amount of. But it is really, really nice. It's better, I think, for cakes maybe, but
No.
made from rose petals from her yard.
Brilliant. Cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
All right, that's it. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate this time that we have together every Friday. So next Friday, I have another guest, Carolyn Spivak, who founded the Croatian Women's Network. So that is who's organizing this conference that I'm going to next week. She will be on 5 Questions next week. And it's going to be pretty exciting. I've never met her before. I'm pretty jazzed to meet her and get to know her a bit better. And so come on, ask questions, say hi to Caroline, and that's it.
Cool.
Have a wonderful weekend, guys.
Have a good one.
Vidimo se, ciao.
Ciao.